Hey guys, RC here, back with episode 3 of our tutorial series for Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2007. Real quick before we get started, do you notice anything different about our screen? Quick, quick, quick. 3, 2, 1. Did you figure it out? All right, well, I'll tell you as we go. I'm at VCU now as the head coach. If we look at our staff, I am the guy. And you remember from the first 2 episodes, I was a first assistant at Gonzaga. Well, when I started to record this episode, the first thing I realized was, hey, as an assistant, there's a whole lot that I can't do, such as buy reports or anything else, because that's the head coach's decision. So just putting this together, I did random numbers so you can see how that turned out. I'm a pretty darn good recruiter. And I am a defensive specialist. Everything else kind of, is below average, but that's okay. We're figuring it out as we go. But no, I had to become a head coach because that was the only way I could actually do any of the things here in the tutorial that I wanted to show you. So here we go, picking up a couple of things real quick. I mentioned when we were looking at the staff screen last episode that this is where you could come to offer extensions, fire somebody, promote or demote somebody. Okay, so that's now you can see those are lit up as options because you don't have that control as an assistant. Basically, you just sit there and watch the gameplay. There's really nothing else to do. So anyway, moving on. The first thing, when I first started playing Wolverine games back when, quite a few years back, when Gary first started the company, and I got into the first basketball game, I literally got to this screen and I had no idea where to go. I was like, all right, I've checked my emails. It told me to purchase my reports. There's nothing down here to buy a report or to go to do a report. I don't know where to go. So, this is the welcome letter. This is your budget for the year. This is your scheduling notice. Oh, let's take care of that real quick. Your AD emails you, hey, coach, I'm doing this. This is where we'll come to phones, call my AD, talk to him about scheduling. That's my only option, and I'm going to dial. Now you can hear the sound effects. You heard the phone pick up. If you turn sound off, you will not hear that. So a heads up. That comes into play in recruiting. If a player hangs up on you, it's not a bug. Somebody actually posted that, hey, I've got a bug. The player's disconnecting on me during recruiting. No, what he's doing is it's coded to hang up on you, and that's how he tells you that he's done talking for that week. All right? So we want to talk. What do you want as a coach? And then I will try to fill in your schedule with that. Let's do a balanced schedule, and you heard it hang up. Okay, I'll try to do that. No guarantees. Click. All right, so we're done. All right, back to email. We've taken care of the scheduling. Purchase your reports. Okay, well, yes, I understand. Purchase reports. Click, click, click. Nothing's happening. I'm clicking on these boxes. Where do I go? I had that issue. I actually posted on the forum. If you have free time, you can probably go look way back and find one of my first posts was going, hey guys, your game's broken. I can't figure out how to get off the first screen. That's stupid. Well, it's there. It is, I promise. It's this little 2 blue arrows right here. That's your advance. Now, for all the tips they put in the game, they didn't put that as a tip. Like right over here, tip. Hit the 2 blue arrows to advance. All right. I had no clue, couldn't figure it out. That's what it is. When these turn blue, that's your advance button. The ball is for your sims to play get to the games. That's when the season starts in November. All right, so right now it's grayed out. It won't do anything. Click, 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 nothing. But that's lit up blue. Buy reports. Let's click it. Look at that. All right, so we're now into our buy reports screen. What does all this mean? Well, that's why we're doing the tutorial. Let's take a look. If we look at the map of the country up here, and if you know where your geography is, all right, we're Virginia Commonwealth, right? Well, Virginia is this little blue state right there. Okay, now well, I should be able to click on that and get it bigger, but I can't. So, but that's Virginia right there, trust me. So it's in the blue, which is the Atlantic East. All right, now let me come up to my team info screen. VCU, Richmond, Virginia. Okay, so if you're not sure, if you're playing with a team, you're like, dude, I don't know where they're at. That's how you would find out. Richmond, Virginia. All right, we have the rival with Old Dominion, so they actually have one in the game. Cool. You can change that if you want. That's how I know where to go. So I want to come back to here, click, get back there. They're in the blue section. So and you know what? I forgot to look at something else. Our team prestige is a 45, so we're 2.5 stars. We're basically an average to slightly below average prestige team. Are we going to have a realistic shot to recruit blue chip players? The honest answer to that is no. All right, so do I need any national reports? Well, you see Atlantic has a gold star and a basic. Same for the Midwest, Southeast, and they're all color coordinated. They are all color coordinated. That was a tongue twister, sort of. And it even specifies over here with the background text, just to make sure you don't miss that. All right. Do I need a national report? Probably not. International? Maybe, but that is $15,000 or $100,000. What do you can buy as many of these as you want. Okay, now let's talk about what they are. The basic report right here, this column, contains a list of the top 200 seniors in the region with info on interest in your school, the top 150 in the national and international reports. So if I buy, say, the Atlantic East basic, it's got the top 200 seniors. If I buy the international or the national, it's only the top 150 in the country. Okay? If you buy the Gold Star edition, it contains all of the same information plus the overall player rankings, the by position rankings. It gives each player a 1 to 5 star rating, and it gives the players top school preferences. I find that very helpful. Now, which one do we buy? How many do we buy? Let's talk about that for just a minute. Right now you can see your team budget is $63,000. Okay? Everything you do during recruiting costs money. Not a lot, but it adds up. A call is $5. Having a player come visit if they're pretty close to you, like $350. From the opposite side of the country, maybe $700. If you go visit a player's home, if you do a home visit close by, maybe $900. Cross country, maybe $1,200 or $1,300. International, well, now you add in, more airfare and whatnot. Basically, the rule of thumb, and there's no right or wrong for this, but from what I've been reading online, is you want about $40,000 left when you hit recruiting. Okay? So, I like the gold report. I like the additional information that it gives you. The lower your prestige, the lower your budget, the less you're going to be able to possibly recruit. Also keep in mind, even the basic edition is the top 200 seniors in your entire region. All right, so the Atlantic East here, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, uh, Delaware, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and there might be a little state in there that I missed. If I did, it was nothing personal. That's the only part of the country I've never lived in. It's the one I know the least. Actually, I did live in North Carolina, but you know they consider themselves more of the South anyway. uh, so anyway, that is what we're dealing with. So at a low prestige school, let's say you start off with Houston Baptist, who's like a 4 prestige or something. Well, you might not even be able to recruit any of the top 200 players in your region. You might be reduced to just recruiting statewide. So you might not even want to buy a report. But here's what's important about that. Buy the report anyway. Well, RC, why would I want to buy the report anyway? What I have read, I have not confirmed this, but what I have read from people that seem to know what they're talking about is if you have more than $40,000 left when you start recruiting, you're not going to be able to spend your entire budget for the year. And if you don't, your AD looks at that and says, oh, well, he didn't use all the money, so he doesn't need that much money next year, so I'm going to cut his budget. That's bad. So spend the money anyway. You don't lose anything. If you don't spend it, then you could lose it, and you might want it next year. Okay? It's much harder to get it than to keep what you have. So I'm going to say as a under 50 prestige, I'm going to have to mainly recruit Virginia and the immediate surrounding areas. Now, Virginia's here. Kentucky and Tennessee are not too far away. It is harder to recruit out of region, okay? But that's a possibility, okay? So I'm going to buy the 30,000 here. Well, that leaves me $33,000. So that means I'm going to be below 40,000. That might hurt me, but I want that report. So I can't really afford anything else, right? So I can't get anything else. I can click the double blues here, or now we have this advanced bar here. And
you have new mail.
And you heard it tell me if you have your sound on, you have new mail. Sounded like AOL back in the day. Most of you are probably too young to remember that. All right, email, summer travel schedule. Coach, we're getting ready to book for all the camps that you're going to go to if you go to any. Okay? Back up here, blue arrows, advance. Now we're at the camps. Now, what is this? All right, well, the camps are where all these guys that are in your book that you just bought, where they're going to go. So if we highlight Atlantic East, it tells us there's this Big Apple Showcase. It's a summer camp, the top 100 prospects from that entire Atlantic East region. Well, here's the thing. It's $3,700. Honestly, you know, this is where you might be able to get to see some of them play. You'll get some detailed statistics. If you don't go, you don't get that information. So I'm in a conundrum. I'm already below 40. Do I spend that and go down to 29? And this is email information popping up. Ignore that. Or disregard it. Do I spend that or do I forego this? Well, in my case, it's going to be pretty hard for me to recruit any of the top 100 players in that region. I mean, we've got UMass, UConn, St. John's, North Carolina, Duke, NC State, Wake Forest, Outback. Those are the teams that are going to be competing for the top 100 players. I'm going to not attend the camp. However, if I had more budget, if I was around 40, 50,000, yes, I might attend a couple of camps. This is where you can spend a little bit more of your budget to get down to where you don't lose any later on. Because I'm already so far below that $40,000 rule of thumb, I can't really afford to come to any of these camps, especially in my case where it's not going to help me any. Also, you have 3 national camps, and these are broken out by, if you look at the national camps, the Indy Elite is 100 of the top players in the nation. It's considered the top camp in the country. The East Coast Jam is the top 100 prospects plus a few elite players. Uh, so you'll see some of the top players in the country right there, plus the prospects from the East Coast. And the Georgia Superstar Camp has 200 prospects. This is a place, as say a mid-major like Gonzaga, that you might be able to find some good under the radar talent. Okay, so judge that how you would want to attend. So the Georgia camp wouldn't be bad. You can see the cost here. And this is based on, I guess, distance from the camp. I don't know. It may be set in stone, but I'm not going to go to one. If you want one, you click it. If you don't, you leave it unchecked, and we're going to advance. So now they're making all the travel arrangements. My AD secretary is really happy. She doesn't have to do any work for me, and we are up to recruiting. So this is where I want to kind of spend a little more time. We're going to do this in a completely different video, so we'll do that in the next video. So in this one, again, just to recap, we kind of got through the recruiting services and the off-season camps. The summer camps for basically the AAU camps is what those are. So I hope this helped at least understand what those are, and we'll pick up in recruiting in the next episode. So guys, take care, and we'll talk to you later.